But the fact that you have three brains, this is so important because your mind is very, very powerful, and it's been taught to believe that it's all alone in its little brain head, that it's all alone making decisions, and that's not what's happening. And so I want to encourage people, start to ask your heart and your gut regular questions. To begin, first you need to know, what does it feel like when the heart says yes? What does it feel like when it says no? What does it feel like when the gut says yes or no? What are these minds really there for? The heart has perfect body memory because the heart barely regenerates. And so while the brain doesn't have room for all that body memory, it certainly magnifies and compartmentalizes memory. Its job is really to do pros and cons and transactions. And that's really what the brain mind is good at. So when you're trying to make a decision, you're going to depend on your brain mind for pros, cons, and transactions. And then you can drop into the heart, and the heart's going to give you his or her full body experience throughout the whole history of your existence in this body. So all that knowledge and wisdom is there in the heart. And the heart's going to give you an answer according to that wisdom. It's also going to oftentimes point to what blocks are in the way. One of the things I've noticed is that when someone tries to get an answer from the heart, and instead of getting a straight answer, they'll get a really powerful emotion. That's because the heart is saying, there's a traumatized version of you that's calling the shots. If you heal that version of you and you go into time and you help meet the needs of that part of you through your imagination, you pull them out of that timeline and you give them something new to do and someplace where they can actually get their needs met, then you're going to be able to approach the heart again and be able to go with a more clear answer, because the heart then is going to say, all right, good. I don't have a past traumatized version of you calling the shots now. Now I can be present in this moment and give you a clear answer according to the knowledge and wisdom we've gained in this lifetime. And then the gut mind. You're not talking to your intestines. You're talking to the bacteria in your intestines. Those are the emissaries of the earth. They are the seat of intuition, as well as the seat of your immune system. But they're the seat of intuition. They're here to help you live in harmony with the planet as long as possible. So anything that's not going to help you survive, well, they're going to say no. And I'll give you an example. Because sometimes the heart says no too, and the gut says yes. And then that's really confusing. But that's okay. Sometimes the heart simply says no because he or she doesn't have experience with that. So for example, Lou, I'm sure that when you were led to do this, your heart got really afraid at certain points. You felt fear in the heart space. Well, that's simply because your heart, Lou, just said, I've not done this before. I don't know what to expect. So even if the heart says no, that's not always a sign that you need to, drop what you're doing. It's a sign that you're going to say, hey, maybe it's just that I don't have experience with this to be able to make a decision clearly from the heart alone. Yeah. Then you drop into the gut and you say, dear gut, you ask a yes or no question. And if the gut says no, then you better hightail it out of there because then you're not going to survive very well. But if the gut stays neutral or says yes, that's good. Sometimes the gut needs more information. And I'll give you an example. I had this lovely lady at one point have a session with me, and she asked me, she said, can you see if this guy I'm dating is the right guy? And I said, well, yeah, I can, but let me show you how to make your own decision, because I'm all about empowering people. I want to make sure they don't need me. They don't necessarily need to have a seer on hand all the time. That's not fun for anybody when they can't make their own decisions. So I had her drop into her heart. How do you feel about this guy? Is this guy the right guy for you? And the heart said, yes, we've been having all this fun with him. We love him. He's great. And then she dropped into the gut, and the gut said, I don't know, not so sure. And she's like, was so surprised. Why did my gut say it didn't know? And I said, well, because your gut's not so sure this guy's going to help you survive. And she's like, oh, that makes sense, because I'm always the one paying for everything. And I said, all right. So the gut needs more proof that this guy's going to be a good survival partner, not just somebody you like to have fun with. She's like, oh, this is good. Okay, great. And I said, well, let's come up with some clear boundaries so that, you can approach him instead of just showing up and saying, you don't pay for anything. So we gave her some more clear communication and some boundaries that she could create to help bring in more information. Can this guy pull his own weight? Is what her gut needed to know. And if he was able to prove that, then she could go back and ask her heart and her gut. And if they both said yes, then good to go. And so that's a lot of times how we can approach the full body to make discernment decisions, because many of us are conduits and a lot of energy is moving through, which can cloud the mind.
Yeah.
And so you really need the heart and the gut to help you make decisions on this path. Use your body like a machine. It's got 3 different really cool computers that want to help you out. Use their expertise to serve you. And this is going to be something that will change the way you approach reality. At all times, I'm making decisions with my whole body, not just with my mind. And that's been a beautiful experience, a very opening one. And so that's the last piece I'd like to share, I think is so important.